everybody, what is going on? It's KWDO here, and welcome to this little tutorial on how to install Optifine for Minecraft 1.8 or any Minecraft version, really, for that matter. And this will be for the Mac, so here we go. Alright, so right now you'll see that my Minecraft is actually running at around 30 frames per second on average here, and this is a single player world, so I'm going to go ahead and load up a multiplayer server so that we can just see the before and after. Alright, so I went ahead and loaded up some Hunger Games over on Mineplex, and as you can see, we are getting an average of, well, around 20 frames per second. We're getting 15, 16, sometimes we get 25, but I mean, I'd say that the average is at around 20 frames per second. So that's not very good. I mean, the minimum amount of FPS you'd want for a decent looking Minecraft account is 30, because that's what your eye sees. So 18 or 20 like we have right now is definitely not enough. So now let's go ahead and get to installing the mod. Right, so to get Optifine, you're just going to want to go ahead and go to optifine.net, and that is where you will find the downloads. So just go to the downloads section, and here you will find all the versions of Minecraft that have had Optifine released for them. Right now we'll take a look at Minecraft 1.8.0. You also have Minecraft 1.8.1, and I'm sure there will be other versions in the future. But right now we're focusing on 1.8, and you're going to want to go ahead and download the latest version of this Optifine, and you're going to want to click on Mirror, and then go ahead and download it by clicking here. Now that you've downloaded Optifine, what you're going to want to do is go to your Minecraft launcher here and click on Edit Profile, and make sure you're using the version 1.8. After this, you're going to want to save the profile and just run the game once in order to let the game know that it's running in 1.8. Alright, so once you've loaded it up, all you're going to want to do is press Quit Game. That's all you need to do. And then we could go ahead and look at the downloads. Alright, so now that you've downloaded the Optifine and you're in the downloads folder, what you're going to want to do is just double click that, and then you will get a very simple window that pops up. Basically has two buttons. Number one is install, number two is cancel. Obviously, you're going to want to press install. And after you're done with that, you are basically done with setting up Optifine. It has successfully installed, and you can click OK, and now we're going to go ahead and launch Minecraft. So as it's launching here, when we see the actual launching window, we should probably see a new profile that says Optifine. Just go ahead and take a look at that, and yes, we're on Optifine, and here it says use version release 1.8 Optifine HD UC7. So now let's go ahead and hop into our world and see how it looks FPS wise. Alright, so we're getting the Mojang logo here, and I'll also show you guys the settings and customization and what the Optifine does in general. So I'm gonna go ahead and load up our FPS test world right here, and to make this window a little bigger, there we go, and here we go. Okay, so before we do anything, video settings. Now Optifine will basically tell you what's fast and what's slow. So visual quality, fast and slow, and smooth lighting, they'll tell you if it's off, it's faster. If it's 100%, then it's slower. Render distance is on 7, which is short, but I mean, as you can see, it's still perfectly fine. I mean, you can still see decently far. I mean, you can set it to more. I don't know how much it'll affect the performance, but I mean, I think this is definitely still doable if you're playing the Hunger Games like I am. And then again, you can always change it. Alright, taking a look at some of the other options, you get the fog, the 3D anaglyph, and details and animations. Those usually those change your FPS a lot. And then performance, you can click on fast math, and if you do that, then it'll go faster. Smooth world, on or off, and all that good stuff. And now I actually want to show you guys how to do the zoom. That's on controls. If you scroll all the way down, you'll go to zoom, and then you can select the key. Mine is left menu. That's the option or alt key on a Mac, and that'll basically allow you to zoom in, so you can say hi to Mr. Pig and Mr. Chicken. So now let's go ahead and take a look at our frames per second. Look at that, we're averaging around 60 frames per second. Now that's a ton, if you ask me. And oh, it looks like we're dropping back down a little bit, but as you see, it's a lot better. It's definitely better than the original frame rates that we had earlier. So now let's go ahead and hop into the multiplayer on Mineplex, because that's where we basically want to see the biggest difference. So here we are in the Hunger Games pre-game lobby, and as you can see, we have around 40 frames per second or 50 frames per second right now, which is a huge improvement compared to the 15 frames per second we had earlier. And right here, the laggy part of the game where the countdown starts and everybody goes for the chest here is still mostly viewable. I mean, as you can see, we can still get all these things. We have around 30 frames per second, which is actually just fine, because 30 frames per second, like I said, is what the eye sees at. So this is perfect. This is all the things you see about 600 frames per second, 1,000 frames per second on the internet. I mean, sure, it's got bragging rights, but if you want a decent looking Minecraft, 30 frames per second is definitely what you need to aim for. I mean, anything higher is better, obviously, but the minimum would be 30, which I'm getting right now. Look at that, 40. And yeah, so basically this is it. This is what you're gonna get if you get the Optifine. Let's go ahead and chop up this guy to see if that does anything to our frame rate, if he doesn't run away. And alright, so it looks like it's staying at around 30, which is very nice. And that's gonna go ahead and wrap up this little tutorial. So I want to thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed or learned something, please click that little green thumb. It helps out a bunch. Also, stay tuned for more awesome videos that I post about 3 times a week. And thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.